So we are here on hole 17. Holds a special place in history at Vestavia Country Club. This is where Charlie Boswell recorded a hole-in-one. Many golfers aspire to have a hole-in-one throughout their careers. And then you add the challenge of being blind, and he never looked at it as being a handicap, simply an inconvenience. You know, we have a room in our men's grill that is named after him. We have a lot of great memorabilia that references his success playing golf, and annually we also host an event, the Boswell Cup, in his name. So Charlie Boswell was born and raised in Birmingham, Alabama. Grew up here, was an incredible athlete, two-sport athlete in college at the University of Alabama. He played football and baseball, and following college, actually had the opportunity to play some minor league baseball, but unfortunately was drafted for World War II and went to serve in the Army. And while he was serving, was trying to help a fellow soldier out of a tank, and an enemy ordnance hit the tank and he was blinded. While he was in rehabilitation, a gentleman introduced him to the game of golf. He had never played golf before, and he found a passion for the game of golf, and became very involved with the United States Blind Golfers Association, won the United States Blind Golfers Association National Championship 16 times, and also won the International Blind Golfers Association Championship 11 times. Also parlayed his success into fundraising for blind golfers. Did a lot of great charity work along the way, and was just so fortunate to make a hole-in-one here one day, one of his 3 that he actually recorded throughout his lifetime. Well, if there's anything that I think anybody can take away from Mr. Boswell's experience, is that you shouldn't let anything stop you from doing the best that you can, and just look at it like he did, an inconvenience. It wasn't a handicap to him, it was simply an inconvenience, and he let his life continue on.
Good job.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Mount Kisco, New York, and the 32nd Annual Masters of Blind Golf. Blind golf, really.
These golfers are completely blind and astonishingly good.
Nice.
They'd beat Tiger Woods if the match started at midnight.
Yes, all right.
Jim Baker from Nashville just hit his tee shot about 200 yards down the middle of the fairway.
Incredible, amazing.
Brad Eaton from Harwich, Massachusetts is putting on the 7th hole for par. A bit miffed, frankly, that he didn't have a birdie.
Good par. What a beautiful par.
Thanks.
Good job. Nice going, baby.
Sheila Drummond from Lehighton, Pennsylvania once hit a hole-in-one.
Beauty.
How? How in the world do they do it?
We're at the hole. I'm going to take the flag out.
Each player has a coach. Charles Monstead coaches Pat Brown.
Uphill putt. Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
The coach, in my opinion, is about 65% of the team.
Yeah.
He makes a selection of the club. He gets you in the right address position. He's got to aim you. And basically, all we're doing is he's going to back off and we're going to swing at it.
Okay. Hold your line. Good putt,
Okay.
Way to go, Pat. That's it.
When you miss a shot, do you blame Charles?
Why, of course. No doubt.
Pat Brown of New Orleans is a legend, having won this tournament 18 times.
Well, you're sort of the Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus of blind golf, aren't you?
I didn't say that. The best I ever got my handicap was down to 14. But best score at home was 76.
76, and the game's the same. No breaks for the blind, no closer tee placement, no do-overs.
For blind golf, you don't change the rules of the game. You simply make a couple of simple accommodations.
Dick Pomo is here from Green Valley, Arizona.
Oh!
That's it.
We're not putting any money on this one.
Dick's wife, Sharon, is his
I've
coach.
smacked a lot of people.
And I'll line up his club and get him all set. And then I'll back away, and the rest is up to him.
Oh my goodness.
Great.
Oh my God.
Great. Right down.
Don't these guys ever hit bad shots?
No, came up on it.
You betcha. What golfer doesn't? But the great ones recover.
But regular golfers make all kinds of
Oh, absolutely.
horrible excuses.
Absolutely.
I do. My foot hurts, you know. And you can't even use blindness as an excuse to get a break.
Oh, I try, but it doesn't work.
Dick says his fellow golfers don't cut him any slack either.
Do they tease you about your golf swing just like in
Absolutely. That's the compliment.
What are they kind of comments they make to you when you have a bad shot?
Well, you know, that not only was that ugly, but it's a good thing you couldn't see it.
And blind golfers love whipping their friends.
The worst thing is for them to get beat by a female, and a close second is getting beat by a blind guy.
I'll play with a threesome of men, and if I can outdrive them, they're not real happy with me.
For many, it's not even their only sport.
I have bowled, although I don't like bowling. But there are some blind people here that bowl, but I'm not a big bowler, so.
Yeah, I've tandem bike, I've water skied, I've cross-country skied, I've downhill skied, I've pretty much done it all.
This tournament benefits Guiding Eyes for the Blind, an organization that has trained and placed more than 7,000 guide dogs, like Dick Pomo's dog, Tanya.
You're my baby.
Does Tanya like golf?
I think she puts up with it. There's not a day goes by that I don't realize how lucky I am. She just,
She's a sweetheart,
I
too.
even like you a little bit too, don't I?
Oh, yes. Great shot. There it is.
These golfers can't see the emerald trees and fairways, but they can smell the freshly mown grass, feel the cool breeze and warm sunshine, and hear birds singing and that sweet sound of the ball dropping into the cup.
Come on. On the hole.
You're going to put these on?
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. And then
To get a sense of what golf was like in total darkness, they had me put on a blindfold.
Oh my God, it's so dark.
It had all the fun of a game of pin the tail on the donkey.
No, but like I don't know what straight is.
Until, in frustration, I regained my sight by simply taking off the blindfold.
Can't hear you.
Something they can't do.
That's not easy.
But these golfers want nothing of such sentimentality.
Yes. Yeah, I turned on you again.
With their strength of character, their spirit, their optimism, and with a little help from their friends, they've moved on.
Ready to see your girl?
There are millions of people who play golf around the world. At its most competitive level, an elite few excel at the sport and achieve fame and fortune. But for most, it is a game played for fun and recreation. In golf, both young and old can seek their own rewards, whether it's learning to master the perfect swing, sharing a weekend afternoon in friendly competition, or just enjoying a few moments alone outdoors in the natural scenic beauty of a well-designed golf course. Still, golf remains a physical sport, a game that requires basic skills and senses. And it would be difficult to imagine how a game which often takes the better part of a lifetime to play well could be played at all by one who is physically challenged. Yet today, there are thousands without the gift of sight, the most precious of the senses, who have learned and even mastered the game of golf. Their level of success in the sport has even allowed many to compete in tournaments for the visually impaired. These events in America are organized by the United States Blind Golf Association. In fact, it was a friendly competition between two blind golfers that led to the creation of an organization to provide for the needs of visually impaired golfers.
Right after the war, Clint Russell went to the Veterans Administration and said,
here's a sport that these blind guys that have lost their sight in the war could do. And 1946, the first group of blind guys got together in California and played the first national championship.
Ultimately, these competitions and the growing interest by the visually impaired led to the formation of the United States Blind Golf Association in 1953. Since then, the USBGA has created many more regional tournaments, events that allow the growing numbers of blind and visually impaired golfers to play the game of golf.
Thanks, good to see you.
However, sanctioning tournaments is not the most important goal of the United States Blind Golf Association.
The mission has to do with helping and encouraging people that have lost sight or all their sight to get back to the game of golf or learn it for the first time. We, as an organization, are simply here to compete, have a good time as golfers, but at the same time we try to encourage others to take up the game, find out how much fun it is, and if you don't want to play competitive, that's fine too.
The efforts of the United States Blind Golf Association made the public more aware that golf is indeed a game that can be played by everyone.
The human spirit prevails in this group of people as much or more than any other group of people that I've ever been around.
We're charting a new course for golf in the Delaware Valley. It's time for Inside Golf. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Inside Golf presented by Hi-Fi House and Pioneer. I want to try something while I'm here on the range, and it's something I've never tried before. I've never really thought of it before until I attended an amazing event last week. I'm going to tell you about that in a second. I'm going to attempt to hit this golf ball with my eyes closed. And it's really kind of scary, but I don't know where it went. I don't care where it went. I heard that sound and it felt pretty good to me. Why is that so amazing? Well, because you probably didn't realize it, but there are thousands of golfers across the world that play golf and they are blind. There's an international association, there's a national association, there's also a regional association, the Mid-Atlantic Blind Golfers Association. It's headquartered right here in Montgomery County. And recently at Edgemont Country Club, this 62nd Blind Golfers Association National Championship took place. Our cameras were there. It was incredible. We're going to have that story as soon as Inside Golf presented by Hi-Fi House and Pioneer returns. Hey, welcome back to Inside Golf, presented by Hi-Fi House and Pioneer. Let's see, it was about, it was 40 years ago that the Hope for the Blind tournament came to Edgemont Country Club. It featured some of the most prominent and most proficient blind golfers from around the world. Bob Hope, he was in town. He helped to host the event that club president Naz Mariani and club pro Tiny Padone had kind of adopted as their own. Featured an array of international blind golfers. Well, here we are 40 years later, and you know what? The golfers returned, and no pun intended, this was quite an event, quite a sight to see.
Hit the trees. Yeah, that's a heck of a start.
Meet David Wall from the Canadian province of Saskatchewan, a long way from Edgemont, Pennsylvania. But David and the 37 other golfers who are teeing it up on this day are some of the most gifted golfers you'll ever see. Oh, by the way, they can only hear you. This is the 62nd Annual Blind Golfers Association National Championship. Everyone playing has had to qualify in regional competitions held across the country over the summer. They have converged on Edgemont to help celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Hope for the Blind tournament, hosted back in '67 by comedian Bob Hope. Sheila Drummond from Lehighton, Pennsylvania, and the only female member of the Blind Golfers Association to have a hole-in-one was there. She did that this past summer. Joe Lazzaro, the past president of the USBGA and 7-time national champion, came from his home in Massachusetts. And world champion Bruce Hooper from San Antonio, Texas, was seeking his 3rd national championship.
Blind golf is a team sport. The coach gives us all the information that we need about the course, gives us proper alignment, helps us with club selection, gives us distances. So they're really our eyes on the golf course since we can't see anything.
But you still have to pull the trigger, though.
Oh yeah, we have to swing the club. I mean, they'll give us all the information that we need. It's up to us to make the shot. You know, even on the green, I say every putt to me is a straight putt because he reads all the breaks. He might say it's a 20-foot downhill putt, but you need to putt it like it's a 10-foot putt. So, you know, we still have to try to get it there, do the best we can.
We try to play around 3 times a week. We don't, once in a while, when it gets cooler, we might hit some balls in the yard or go to a range. Usually we don't do much range work anymore. We used to do more, but before a tournament, we'll go do some range work. But other than that, we play between 3 and 5 times a week, even if it's only 9 holes.
Each player in all 3 flights is allowed a coach. The USGA has allowed 3 rule changes in regard to blind golf, and having a coach is one. Secondly, that coach is permitted to stand behind the player throughout his or her pre-shot routine and swing. Lastly, blind golfers, because their depth perception is skewed, can ground their club in a hazard. That is it. They play regulation-length courses, and all penalties apply.
Every golfers ask us, do you have more senses do your senses improve? And the answer is yes, because you have to use them. So I tell golfers, use your senses. And of course, visualization, you hear a lot about that on the tour now, where the players are out there closing their eyes, visualizing the shot. I guess that's been going on as long as golf has been around, trying to come up with a way of putting yourself into the mood to hit a good shot.
So Judy can tell you this is 320 yards, about 185 yards of dog legs to the left. And right away you start to put all those pieces together.
Yes.
When he steps up to the ball and he says, I see it, then I know he's ready. He actually makes that comment, I see it this way.
And she'll say, step away from it. Get away from it if you're not ready. And she'll start again, again. She has to go find it.
Most of the time. If he hits it straight, I find it for sure.
Yeah. You haven't been fired yet, right?
No, not
she's not going to
yet.
be either.
If you know the Edgemont layout, it's very hilly and tree-lined, a challenge for sighted golfers. But the commitment here and the club's vision has always been, as the Blind Golfers Association says, you don't have to see it to tee it.
Edgemont has been the home of the Mid-Atlantic Blind Golf Association since over 40 years now, 45 years. Bob Bowman started it with Tiny and got it all started. My first lesson was with Dave Kryskoff. Tiny said, if you can keep this guy playing golf, I'll let you teach. And Mr. Kryskoff was a big guy like me, and he played till he passed away, and he was part of the local. I'm more involved in the local. They have like 30 tournaments locally here at all the different clubs.
I was playing with a blind individual, and we were going up the 4th hole, and we were out there a good hour and a half. And we're about, 3/4 of the way up the hill, and he says, Ed, he says, I want to really thank you. I said, for what? He says, for coming out here today. I said, oh, don't worry about it. He says, no. He says, seriously. He says, you let me hit every shot. He says, sometimes when I get a coach, they grab the card and they go up 100 yards and they drop a ball and they tell me I hit it there. He says, I know how far I hit it. You made me play. You not made me. You allowed me to play every shot, he says, and I really appreciate it. And, I never had a thank you that meant more to me than that one, honestly.
It's 6.
Hey, there's a noise.
Yeah?
I love that I can still do it. I think that's the most important thing. I had quit playing because I lost my eyesight. And when I met all these wonderful people, these blind golfers, they inspired me to keep trying and keep playing. And this is the result. We're playing golf and we're enjoying every minute of it.
There's no magic wand, there's no special tools, there's nothing, no tee you can buy, no club you can buy, nobody you can get. It's take lessons, practice, play golf, just like everybody else.
This national event will move on to another city next year. On the local scene, the Middle Atlantic Blind Golfers Association is already working on their 2008 schedule. There were more than 30 tournaments in 2007. New players are encouraged to join, and coaches are always needed too. Log on to mabga.org for more information. And blindgolf.com is another great source for details of events around the country. And you don't have to be an adult to take part.
We work with blind and vision impaired children. Yesterday we had a clinic here and we had kids from Overbrook School for the Blind and St. Lucy's Day School. We had about 15 kids here that we worked with yesterday. So that's very impressive, because we're hoping that if we get these children started while they're still young, they may stick with golf, and then maybe they'll join the organization when they're older. So, I mean, it's a great sport for blind and vision impaired people, because it's something they can do for the rest of their life.
All right, the next trophy is what? 108, 101, 209. No. What is it? This is a coach of the E.T. Jug Waldron. All right, Jimmy. All right, we have another first. No, I don't want to do that. Second place was, honorable mention was Fred Mano, the past president of the Lions. Okay, what's the next one? I understand that the Lions Club bought that trophy for Charlie Boswell. All right, what's the next one? Come here, Barnett. Come here, Barnett. Our tournament chairman, Herb Barnes, was unable to be here tonight because of a last-minute commitment, so we would like... have a few more trophies and we'll be done. The next one is for the
speak for everybody who was here today or here at any time during this Blind Golfers Week. It is one of the most inspirational things that can happen to any person. And I am delighted that the tournament was held in Pennsylvania this year, and I want to pay a special tribute to every one of these wonderful gentlemen for participating and for demonstrating the great skill that they have. I know that this was the first time that I had ever seen it happen, and it was a real privilege to be here. I hope, in recognition of his many years of countless efforts in behalf of the blind golfer and for his humanitarian efforts toward his fellow man, October 4th, 1967. I'm going to present this, and then I want you to stay there for a minute because I have something else nobody knows anything about. As the chairman of the tournament committee and of this Blind Golfers Week said, this is another first. And I'd like to read it because it is self-explanatory. In the name and by the authority of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, Governor's Office, Harrisburg, proclamation. Whereas Bob Hope, one of the greatest Americans alive, has unceasingly I want you to know that I coined that phrase myself, Bob. Has unceasingly devoted his time and effort to the good humor of his fellow countrymen, and whereas, more often than not, these fellow citizens have been our servicemen, both in action and in hospitals, who, although captive audiences, seem to enjoy Hope's wit and pulchritudinous companions. Which comes first? And whereas Bob Hope's golf game has improved through the years, is that true? And he tees off on a golf course and sinks a ball nearly as well as he takes off on major issues and pans our leaders, all in good sportsmanship and in fun, and of course, always in good taste. And whereas we in Pennsylvania would like to claim Bob Hope as a citizen, not only because his holdings would help our economy tremendously, Bob Hope, an honorary lifetime citizen of Pennsylvania. I don't want you to miss this, and urge my fellow citizens to join me in convincing him he should consider making our great state his permanent home if he ever settles down. I had the pleasure of playing for his outfit in Play Coup in '65 when he was there, and he was in the hospital at the time. He knew something, and it's nice to see him at this table here. And of course, Crozier Wood, the fellow that has been so inspirational in furthering this, was a fellow that I met in Nuremberg in '45, and he was with the Air Force. And I might say that he's always been very instrumental in helping us get planes to go overseas. And last year he got us a wonderful plane, Air Force One, very modern plane, first plane ever built. And I wish you could have seen this. I knew it was an old plane when I saw the pilot sitting behind me, but I want to tell you. No, it's nice to Jack to sit down and stop running for a few minutes. I think well, we're all doing it, you know. Everybody's doing it. A lot of people ask me why I don't go into politics, but I'm not eligible. I've never made a picture with Shirley Temple. And I think she'll do fine. She's got bigger dimples than Reagan, and I think she might go places. Now, the only one's a little bit jealous is Everett Dirksen. He thinks one set of curls in Congress is enough, you know? One of the great gentlemen of football, and he, of course, the Rams, we just didn't have the material. In fact, for a while, we thought of putting a handle on the ball and little things like that, you know. And we had a bad season. We didn't mind the other team intercepting a pass, but not from our center. I think that was a little ridiculous. And, but Joe, it's wonderful to see you, and I know you got a lot of material, and if you ever get them out of the splints, I'm sure that something will happen for you. We have them at the Rams are moving now. Wait till you see that fearsome foursome. Wait till you dig them. You'll see them. It's a mafia in helmets. You'll just love them.